As you all know, some of the richest countries in the world are in Africa because the continent has a lot of people and a lot of natural resources. Its GDP per person is high. Today we will discuss the top 10 richest countries in Africa. But before, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon. 10. Namibia. GDP per capita, that's $9,730. Namibia is one of the wealthiest countries in Africa. More than half of Namibia's gross domestic product comes from mining, farming, manufacturing, and tourism. About 30% of the GDP comes from mining, and about 12% comes from agriculture. The main things that Namibian farms make are beef, lamb, mutton, dairy products, tobacco, and barley. 9. Tunisia. GDP per capita, that's $10,590. Even though there are only about 12 million people living in Tunisia. Most of what Tunisia exports are chemicals, semi-finished products, electrical equipment, and transportation equipment. The economy of Tunisia is mostly based on tourism, manufacturing, and mining, which together make up about 15% of the GDP. The economy of Tunisia is doing well because the country's economic policies have created a stable financial environment that makes foreign investments more likely. 8. Algeria. GDP per capita, that is $11,430. Algeria is one of Africa's richest countries. Algeria's economy is mostly based on hydrocarbons and manufacturing, which make up about 60% of the GDP. More than 95% of the exports and 75% of the government income come from hydrocarbons. 7. South Africa. GDP per capita, that is $12,440. About half of South Africa's GDP that comes from transportation equipment, processed minerals, chemicals, textiles, and food products. Over 35% of the GDP comes from industrial sector. 90% of the exports are minerals, mostly gold, diamonds, and coal. About 7% of the GDP comes from agriculture. But South Africa's economy has to deal with big problems, such as a growing population, more poverty, and high unemployment. 6. Egypt. GDP per capita, that is $13,080. Egypt is a country in North Africa. People think of it as the start of the human civilization because of this, which has helped Egypt become one of the 5 most populous countries in Africa. Egypt's main industries are farming, making media, building, tourism, and transportation. But only 23% of the country's GDP comes from agriculture. 5. Madagascar. GDP per capita, that is $13,720. Madagascar is an island country in the Indian Ocean. The economy of Madagascar is mostly based on agriculture, which makes up about 40% of the country's GDP. It's one of the most biologically diverse countries in the world, with about 5,000 plants, 89 kinds of primates, 350 kinds of birds, and 60 kinds of mammals that live nowhere else. 4. Gabon. GDP per capita, that is $16,240. Gabon is one of the 20 countries in Africa with the most money per person. Gabon is one of the richest countries in Africa because it has a lot of resources like oil, timber, manganese mining, and uranium ore. Gabon, on the other hand, is in the middle of a very bad economic crisis, which has cut the country's oil production by half. Gabon has a low GDP growth rate and inflation is high. It is minus 2.7% right now. 3. Botswana. GDP per capita, that's $18,110. Botswana is one of the richest countries on the continent, based on how much each person has. Botswana's economy has grown a lot, thanks to its exports of diamonds and beef, About 12% of the GDP comes from mining, and 80% of that comes from diamonds. In Botswana, 1 in 4 homes has at least one diamond ring, earrings, or necklace. In the last 10 years, however, the diamond market has been full, which has caused a big drop in the economy and a lot of political unrest. 2. Mauritius. GDP per capita, $22,030. Mauritius is an island country in the Indian Ocean. It's near the coast of Africa. The economy of the Mauritius used to be based on sugarcane plantations, but now it also includes textiles, tourism, and banking. France, the UK, and the other African countries make up 80% of its visitors. Mauritius also has a free port regime, which means that there are no taxes or tariffs on exports of goods made in Mauritius. Most of what Mauritius exports are clothes, sugar, and guargum. 1. Seychelles. GDP per capita, $26,120. The Seychelles are a small group of islands in the Indian Ocean, near East Africa. It has the highest currency in Africa and is one of the 20 countries with the most money per person. Seychelles has an impressive GDP per person, which is mostly due to its strong tourism industry, which makes a big contribution to the GDP. About 40% of the country's GDP and about 70% of its foreign currency earnings come from tourism. So, that's it for today. If you liked the video, leave a comment and subscribe to our channel. Press the bell icon for latest updates. Thanks for watching.